I saw a
Probably.
magic show last night. That shit was lit.
You saw? Okay.
It was a genuine like fancy Upper West Side in a hotel. It
Cool.
was
You took a lady?
Yeah.
Nice.
I took a friend. I didn't take a lady. It was literally
Sure.
not knowing I'm knowing I'm having sex.
This
with.
lady might as well have had a mustache.
This is woman.
This is the bro.
And pretty much, we shook penises after. It was good pals. But
Sure.
no, that shit. Oh, sorry.
No, that's fine. I guess.
We can bleep it. But no, it was actually lit. I'm like, magic shows aren't corny when like you put effort into it. Like
Okay.
when you've put.
What was the ethnicity of the magician?
He was a white guy.
Okay.
He was short.
I was hoping for like, a new era of diverse magicians.
No, I didn't get a DEI magician.
Damn.
I didn't get a black magic magician. I got a fucking regular white magician. We haven't hit.
What race was David Blaine? He was white.
I don't know. They all look a little ethnically ambiguous.
Yeah. Apologies to David Blaine if there's some sort of erasure I'm participating in right now.
Dude, I went down a David Blaine rabbit hole. Him and Chris Angel, and listen, we can start the podcast, but this people should go down this Chris Angel. I don't know why I'm so into magic and shit like this, but
you just went to a magic show.
it was lit, and you should go see it. But dude, did you know they had beef? Magician beef? Like
No, I did not know that.
And it's like David Blaine was like the cool fucking sick, just like unbothered guy who's like, I'm not even doing magic. I'm just standing on top of a pin for 8 days and just doing feats of just human like craziness. Like,
it's true. That's what he would do when he would like bring frogs out of his mouth. That's not because it's an illusion.
Yeah, he
figured out how to put frogs in his stomach.
Nigga, that ain't magic.
Yeah.
Does that
crazy.
count? I guess that's, but no, this is not. I should have went to that magic show and be like, yeah, that card trick was cool, but put a knife through your body.
Yeah, hurt yourself.
Hurt yourself.
For me.
This isn't magic.
I paid $30.
I want to see you almost die a little.
Yeah.
This doesn't.
I came here to see magic.
Oh my God, no. What was funny was like looking up magic shows in New York. And seeing the different types of magic shows. I went to a good magic show. I was like, I'm going to spend money. I'm going to go see this magic
So what
show.
brought this on you? So it's not that you deliberately, you were like, I want to go see a magic show.
I'm never an audience member to stuff, and I want to go be an audience member. And it was nice to suspend being the whole time there. I felt like the suspension of disbelief of with the magician, where like the same kind of relationship you have with a comic, where they just like, I'm gonna lower my guard and
I'm gonna allow him to take me on his little journey.
I got to do that last night. It was fun. Even
Nice.
I don't really get to do that often, so it felt nice. It was really fun. It was really produced well. Because I saw some in Brooklyn that were a little bit cheaper. There's just like one magician in Brooklyn who's like, hey, you've seen me all around New York for 40 years. And now I'm taking that talent to Brooklyn, where I'll be opening my own magic shop in this basement that looks creepy as hell. That I kind of look like I live here, don't I?
Yeah.
It looked like
5 p.m. is the comedy open mic.
Yeah.
You could come early if you want to check out some jokes or some funny guys.
It looked way more nefarious than that. It looked like he would like chop people in half and then keep their body parts in the fridge. Like he would just be like, I'm
The
sick.
David Blaine version of that trick, where he actually chops a lady's foot off.
Yeah, but then he keeps it. He keeps that body part. But go see magic shows, man. Have a little fun in your life. Add a little magic to your life. That's what I did.
All right,
last
good.
night.
Positive message for the intro.
Now let's get into
Before we
these
ruin everyone's
police
day.
shootings.
Yeah.
Try to like get our theme music memorized, and it is not working at all. Like,
Yeah.
it always comes up.
At a certain point, we'll have someone record.
If you
for us.
freestyle rap and you listen to this podcast,
Stay your ass as a listener.
damn, all right, buzzkill.
So, all right, we're here. Welcome to the show. Let's just start it out. I don't gotta explain it every week. Here's this week's headline roundup. Starting out, cop in Long Island charged in a fatal car crash while going 100 miles per hour. R.I.P. to Anna Wilson.
Florida ICE cops have a Jordanian man die in their custody, making him estimated to be the 25th person to die in ICE custody so far this year. R.I.P. Hassan Ali Modasalaya.
Jail cops in DeSoto Parish, Louisiana, are caught on video forcing an inmate to strip naked and then ruthlessly beating him.
ICE cops in Everett, Massachusetts abduct a 13-year-old boy and send him to a detention center in Virginia.
ICE cops in Houston abducted a 13-year-old autistic boy who was considered missing for several days.
Cop in Bibb County, Georgia, arrested after taking a woman's phone during a traffic stop and sending himself an explicit video.
Cop in Reno, Nevada, arrested in a child prostitution sting operation.
Jail cop in San Francisco fired after sexually assaulting an inmate.
Cop in Red Cloud, Nebraska, convicted of possession of child sex abuse material.
ICE cop in Miami convicted of taking upskirt photos of flight attendants while flying with a detainee.
Cop in Jacksonville, Florida, caught on video punching a black mother during a violent arrest for leaving her car unattended while picking up her daughter from school.
Cop in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, arrested for domestic violence.
Cop in Colorado Springs, arrested for domestic violence.
Cop in Pennsylvania, caught on video handcuffing a black man and accusing him of stealing his own packages.
Cop in Bradley County, Tennessee, accidentally shoots himself when attempting to shoot a dog. And yeah, some of them aren't the worst headlines you can imagine.
It felt
some of them, the victim of the cop's brutality kind of gets off scot-free, and the cop victimizes themselves. And I just include that at the end for a little
Which
levity.
story are you talking about? Because the ones I'm focused on are just the ones where the cop took somebody's phone and...
There was a lot of stories, yes. I'm mentioning the last one
the
that
cop
I read.
accidentally shoots over... Yeah, yes.
But yeah, we could talk
Yes.
about, look, it is not the first time. We'll do a story on this at some point that we've had like 4 or 5. It's a bit of an epidemic. If you're ladies, and it sucks because you don't have any control. It's truly a situation where a cop can abuse his power, where a cop will take your phone for whatever he needs, records, whatever. I think it's a gray area. It varies state by state. Ask your AI lawyer whether or not you have the right to keep your phone when you're being pulled over by the cops and you're technically
Support your
being
local
detained.
Lawyer.
Or yeah, if you got lawyer questions, if you got like
Support your local. These lawyers can't be replaced by AI.
I've never been. I've had ups and downs in comedy. I've had real ups, and even in the highest points of me having success in life, I've never thought to be able to pay an actual lawyer, money for anything.
No, when you do deals, they'll make you get a lawyer. Where you be like, can I not do that? Because
sure,
that's just 10% more.
Oh, exactly. That's what. Anyways, first of all, yes, that's what I'm saying. But all I'm saying is that there's been too many stories of cops taking women's phones during traffic stops and then sending themselves nudes from their phone. That's to the point where it's a pattern.
It doesn't even. I don't even know how you logically make those steps without just being like a demon that's like manifested on Earth.
A horny demon, the worst type of demon.
I don't know how you can even logically get there without just essentially being like Satan's spawn.
I'm a creep. You're like, time to go into
sending you to Earth to harass women and take their phones and specifically I don't know how you get there as a human.
It's a conscious decision.
That's
you're going into creep mode. Now, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
And then it's like, well, I don't even want to say the other thing I was going to say. I was going to add to the dumbness of just giving the lady her phone back, and she goes through her texts, and there is a outgoing text. Not a dick, it's her. That's the thing. He's going to the woman's phones, finding their own intimate photos of themselves, you assume, and sending it to themselves. So they're looking at their own phones, be like, when did I send this nude that I took from my boyfriend to this unknown number at the time while the cop had my phone?
When I see explicit video, I don't know why, for some reason, I thought this dude took her phone and then took a dick pic And but no, he took her phone and sent himself nudes
of her.
of-
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know why I read it for. Like,
I mean, look, it's insane either way.
Yeah, no, all of it is nuts.
Your version is more of like a prank.
No,
it's
that's
more
not
of
a
like,
prank. That's my version. I was like, the way I was thinking, I was
Look,
like,
prank. Yes, prank is an understatement. I'll agree with that. But I mean, it's like him putting his own shit on her phone. I don't know. It just seems more like indirect and weird
that's what I
than
was
just
thinking.
stealing something from her phone.
Yeah. No, okay. Now I'm more.
If
like,
we're trying to put ourselves in the mind of a
no,
creep,
now all of it makes sense better for me because I'm like the whole time I'm thinking this dude took her phone and took a dick pic, but instead he just took her phone and sent nudes to his own phone
of
which
her, yeah,
is detestable. But
it
it's
is
not like as egregious, obviously, as taking your own dick. Okay.
I mean, yeah. So,
But that wasn't the only freaky ass story.
yeah, we had the upskirt ICE guy, which that would suck because I'm thinking about like he did it while on a deportation flight. Not on a deportation flight, but they were like flying with a detainee from one city to another city. And I'm just, you're at the job, you're on the job, and I'm assuming you got like a man or a woman chained up next to you, zip tied. That person's going through hell, and then they look to the right, and they're like, yo, what the fuck are you doing right now?
Yeah.
Can you please stop?
Yeah.
Can you at least stop doing that?
Yeah. I mean, how are you? We got to be a sick ass individual to be horny in that type of environment.
Yep.
And during all of this, on top of all this
Yeah.
fucking evil, you're horny?
Yeah.
Nah, these niggas gotta be gulagged. I don't know what to say. These niggas are unsavable. These
Yeah.
niggas I don't even know, dog.
Yeah.
That shit next level. Nah, something's deeply. It's already, they're all like, you work for ICE. It's like, first off, these aren't noble people. These are like mercs who want to ethnically cleanse. So it's not like they're like, it's not like we got like good human beings.
It's not like Mr. Flanders getting caught.
You're
over here.
already
It's-
getting fucking guys who are just like, I want to kill and I will do it for a price. And no, this is not morally or ethically me trying to do anything. Yeah, sure. If you want to see me ethnically cleanse this nation and do a crusade, yeah, but they're not gonna. It makes sense that they're this freaky as well.
Yeah, when we do do like a more of a when we do our more deep dives on stories of cops being sexual deviant
Depraved.
predators, this is sort of where our conversation goes usually. I think of like it's like we don't know what really comes first, like the chicken or the egg in term, but it is like when you're out there doing these terrible things, whether you clock them as terrible or not, they are violent things, right? They are exploitive things. It just comes with the territory that you are going to just chase all these, whatever you want to fucking call it, all these proclivities, all these instincts, whatever it
Primal,
is.
disgusting, like
Yes.
fucking barbaric ass.
Yeah.
Just the most lowest behavior you can, uncivilized. These like legitimately the shit we develop civilization for.
Yeah, exactly.
You just pounce on those instincts and like,
Yeah.
but they also help create an environment for it.
He was like, man's greatest contribution to civilization is the upskirt photo.
Yeah. This is what it's all been building to.
Yeah.
The wheel.
Yeah, exactly. The wheel. Step one, the wheel. Step two, this.
Though, what's that video in 2001: A Space Odyssey where the cavemen throw up a bone, but instead of a spaceship,
Yeah.
it's an iPhone
Yeah.
taking a picture.
Yeah.
Of
Yeah.
We're here.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we should start the pie. Let's do the thing we came here to do, folks.
Yeah, let's do it. What are we talking about today? Well, we'll be talking about, we got a story of a cop evicting the wrong person from their apartment, a cop refusing to call for help as a 5-year-old girl has a seizure. We'll be talking about Flock again like we did last week. This time they're getting into the audio surveillance business rather than the video surveillance business, which they're known for. We'll be talking about ICE arresting a cop in Chicago. And we'll be talking about the start of a trial, the trial separate trials. 3 San Antonio police officers charged with the murder of Melissa Perez.
And on the Patreon, $5 a month, $5, so it's 5 stars to subscribe, $5 a month, all that beautiful stuff,
shit.
all that, you heard it. We will be talking about ICE detaining a man immediately.
I'm sorry, I made a typo on the thing. Immediately after he was exonerated after spending 40 years in prison for a crime he did not commit.
ICE violently arresting a teenage girl and then lying about it on Twitter, and some fascist AI slot being posted by yours truly, President Donald Trump.
So let's
we got
start.
Some good stuff.
Starting out here in Cartersville, Georgia, reading from 11alive.com. Headlined, Carterville man says he was wrongfully evicted after Bartow Sheriff's deputies mistake his address. A Cartersville man said he was mistakenly evicted after a Bartow County Sheriff's Office deputy and a moving crew entered the wrong unit and dumped all his belongings on the lawn. The man, 28-year-old Samuel Wadsworth, returned home from work Tuesday to find his possessions, including food and pets, removed from his apartment despite not being the subject of an eviction notice. Now, out of all the...
And his pets, damn.
Yeah. You too.
Damn.
Yeah. Out of all the arguments that people have made of like desperately trying not to get evicted, and the arguments they present, which there's tons of great arguments to not getting evicted. Being evicted is an act of violence, right? We can hopefully, people listening could agree with that. But I would say this is probably the best argument I've ever heard, that fucking wrong apartment, dumbass.
Yeah, it's not even an
It's
argument.
across the hall.
Yeah, what the hell?
I paid my rent.
What? You just, what?
I'm coming home from work after a hard day's work, earning money to give to my landlord, and this is what I have to come home to?
No, I felt so bad for him because I watched the news story, like when the 11 News pick went to his house, and they went 2 days after, it all happened, but all his stuff was still outside. I was like, nigga, all right, now you put some shit back in. I feel, don't get me wrong, empathy, I get it. This is wholeheartedly fucked up. But the cameras pulled up like 2 days. They're like, last Tuesday, and then they came up on him, and he was just sitting there. They took all my shit outside. I was like, nigga.
No, I get it. You know why? Because it was on a Tuesday. He had fucking work on Wednesday. He had work the next morning, dude. I had literally, this is a true story. Last week, I come home from a hard day's work. Me and Kelly both, we come home at the same time to find that our building had turned on the heat for the first time. And so our radiator was extremely fucked up and was shooting hot, wet air into our apartment.
What you mean,
and
wet
could
air?
not be turned
I
off.
mean water.
Steam.
Oh, okay.
Maybe I could have said steam, but also you should have recognized steam. So maybe
I was trying to put the chemical combinations together.
No, look, I'll assume a little bit of fault there.
Humidity, okay, I'll give you that.
But I said that because when we came in, it was like our apartment was like the jungle. Like it was literally like a swamp, and it was like I had a long day at work. I had more work to do getting home, and it's like now we got to deal with this shit. Like fuck this shit.
No, I get it.
I was pissed off.
They should have 100% put his shit back.
Yeah.
You don't just evict and then you do the wrong place, and you should put his shit back.
He's like, well, I'm off the clock.
Looks
like both of us are done with work. Hey, you want to get a beer, brother?
According to union rules, I'm not allowed.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, on the cop, and I like the cops. I don't know if you're done. Is there more to the article? Or?
Tons of here. Let's get back to it. Wadsworth said he arrived home to find his clothing, furniture, and even food from his refrigerator strewn across the front yard. Quote, I pulled into my driveway and I just see all of my belongings out on the front lawn. All the food in my refrigerator was just piled up, collecting flies.
Damn.
There was just flies just all over everything. Wadsworth said he immediately called his landlord, who was shocked and confirmed the eviction was never meant for him. She immediately was saying, no, absolutely not, he recalled. That was supposed to be for your neighbor because he had passed away, and they just needed to clean out that unit. And so this adds more, because to me it's like, if you're there to evict, it's not even really an eviction. You're cleaning out someone's apartment because they died.
Yeah.
I feel like at some point in the middle of cleaning out in a live person's unit, you would get clues that this person. You'd be like Goldilocks, like this porridge is still hot.
Or
like,
you're stupid and you're like, he's a zombie. He just had a burrito package from this morning. Oh fuck!
we gotta.
We're not just dealing with a broke person. We're dealing with a zombie.
We're dealing with the undead.
Yeah.
Take this man's garlic powder and sprinkle it all over the apartment.
Oh shit! They don't pick up on the clues at all.
Not at all.
And the cops didn't apologize at all.
Of course.
No, in the news report I saw, he was like, "I'm still waiting on an apology." I was like, "That's so fucked up." They evicted you, threw all your shit out the house, your pets out the house, and they didn't put nothing back. They did, literally everybody's like, "Oh yeah, it was apartment 10." The paperwork said, it was apartment 12. Y'all evicted apartment 10. The paperwork says apartment 12. This is just literally just
you fucked up.
You fuck up so hard. All someone's insides, their house, everything that's inside their house is now on the outside, which is a monumental. That's not a normal fuck up. Yeah. That's like a Willy Wonka-esque fuck up. You come home and all your shit's outside. That's not a normal day.
It's so unrelatable too. Like, doesn't he? Like, I don't know. A lot of people could relate to this. Not everyone, but But sometimes, like, before I send like a text or email, you'll have like some sort of paranoia that like, oh, am I sending this to the wrong person? Or like, oh, did I accidentally say something terrible? And let me double check it real quick. Like, everyone kind of has this sort of like, I want to meet one cop who has OCD. One cop who's not the most confident person in the world when they're going out and doing the opposite shit that they're supposed to be doing. I haven't seen that one time. It's just shit like this.
Yeah, one cop with imposter syndrome.
Exactly.
Maybe I shouldn't be doing this. Maybe I shouldn't be here.
Yeah.
Cops develop more imposter syndrome.
That would be nice. Let's see. Let me go back here real quick. So this one, let me skip this. You just described this. It was Unit 12, not Unit 10. He says, quote, "I'm just it's hard to describe. It's like being angry, but also calm at the same time. Just more blown away than anything," which I love that. He's like, yo, the police are fucking blowing my mind, man.
That's just like that's someone describing like when you witness sheer stupidity on a level you like, I can't even describe the amount of, you ever see like a landscape and it's just so much to take in, you can't even like express, you're like, wow, I'm just overwhelmed by all this like majesticness. I can't even express this, what I'm viewing right now. Like it's so much. That's what he witnessed, but on like a level with just stupidity.
Yeah.
He saw so much, he was like,
he was seeing like the ordeal ahead of him. It's like when you make like such a big mess in the kitchen, like you break like a big bottle of olive oil. Now you have olive oil spill all on your floor, and like you just stare at it and you're like, damn.
Somebody's gonna have to clean this.
Damn, Kelly is gonna be upset.
Shit.
That sucks for her. Damn.
No, that is like the cops, nothing. Yeah, we accidentally took all your shit, put it outside. Bye. Yeah. That is the.
We're fearing for our lives. You don't understand. That Chihuahua you got over there, you should really put him on a leash.
Hey, I'm just saying he's lucky we didn't evict his soul from his body. That's he could be evicted from Earth if he keeps fucking with us. No, yeah,
Some of Wadsworth's pets were also taken.
That's crazy.
Quote, "Some of them were taken by animal control. One of them managed to escape, and I found her later." They literally kidnapped his pets. They left a ransom note. They left a picture of his cat zip-tied with duct tape over their mouth. So if you ever want to see Sprinkles again, it's like, you got the wrong unit.
So we are going to prorate your rent for a day. So we will be taking $35 off.
But you do have to pay for all these damages, so we will be adding $1,000 as well.
That is crazy. They got the wrong address. People have screamed at Uber drivers for less. Like Uber Eats delivery. Like, you went to apartment 12, bitch. When I find you, like, and cops just can go to the wrong apartment and just completely rearrange your life. That guy,
Yeah.
and he looked. I think he was a single guy. It's not like he had help. Putting him.
You keep shitting on this guy. He's gone through enough. Ash is like, bro, it's still a mess over here. Come on, get your shit together. Well, this is why you can't get a girlfriend, because you don't believe in yourself. You still got this whole place in a mess. How did this place become such a mess? Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Yes. No.
I'm so sorry,
yes.
bro. I apologize. You went through a traumatic ordeal. I should not be making fun of you or your neck beard or nothing.
Yeah.
Of that. I apologize.
No.
You went through. You were a victim in this.
Ridiculous.
Truly, they should not have done that to you. You could have put some of that shit back in your house. All right. All of it didn't need to be outside when the cameras. All right. We can go to the next story.
Yeah, shout out Samuel Wadsworth.
We empathize.
That sucks. So next, we are going to a story. A trial has started, and it only just started last week. So as there's more major, interesting developments in the trial, I'm sure we'll go back to talking about the trial. But since it just started, we figured it would be good to cover the background of this story. So it's in San Antonio, and this happened in June 2023, and a woman named Melissa Perez was killed by San Antonio police while she was in her own apartment. She had schizophrenia, and she was called because she was suffering through delusions. She thought people were listening to her. And when the cops wanted to talk to her, she ran into her own apartment, was refusing to cooperate. And she ended up brandishing a hammer at them while she was inside her apartment. And they were outside the apartment. They could only see her through a glass window. There was a whole wall and door separating them. She came at them with that hammer. Again, can't emphasize enough. While she was inside and they were outside, and they shot her to death. Yeah. And so they actually, because this case is so fucking absurd and insane, these three cops were, I believe 2 cops were charged with murder. 1 is charged with manslaughter or something. 2 at least are actually charged with murder. And the trial is starting now, but we're going to go back to an older story that talks about the details of what actually happened. So, Ashton, you got this?
So, we are going to San Antonio, Texas via WEAU. 3 San Antonio police officers charged with murder in fatal shooting of woman. 3 San Antonio police officers have been charged with murder in the fatal shooting of a woman who was experiencing what the city's police chief said was a mental health crisis. Sergeant Alfred Flores and Officer Eliezer Alejandro and Nathaniel Villalobos were suspended without pay and later arrested on murder warrants in the shooting death of Melissa Perez, 46, when she refused police orders to come out of her apartment. Police Chief William McManus said Friday one of the 3 charged officers opened fire. McManus said after Perez first threw a glass candlestick at the officer, then swung a hammer at them. All 3 officers then fired when Perez approached them again with the hammer, hitting her at least twice, according to McManus. Perez was suspected of cutting the wires to a fire alarm, a felony, at the apartment complex, and was talking to fire officials about 12:30 a.m. Friday when an officer approached and tried to get her to walk towards a patrol car, McManus said. Perez was speaking to a fire department official outside the complex when an unidentified officer arrived, and he is heard on body camera video calling, "Hey lady, get over here," with Perez refusing and walking away. It appears that Ms. Perez was having a mental health crisis, McManus said without offering further explanation, and she then ran into her apartment. The video then shows an officer on the patio of Perez's apartment removing a window screen as Perez shouts, "Stop it, and you ain't got no warrant." An unidentified officer shouts, "You're going to get shot," to which Perez replies, "Shoot me, you ain't got no warrant." The sound of glass breaking is later heard, followed by 2 volleys of gunshots. That is
crazy. Yeah,
insane.
And this article is to me ridiculous. Like this article, doesn't mention that, it doesn't emphasize, and it needs to be emphasized, that she was inside and they were outside.
Yes.
There was a wall, there was a door separating them. She was coming at them with a hammer. Also, she's one lady. There are like multiple men.
There's like 4 cops outside her house. They removed the window pane. They were literally removing the window pane off of her her house, and it's like she's right. They don't got no warrant. As far as I don't look, I know TV law. Like I'm like, if you ain't got no warrant, a cop can't come in your house, right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna assume from the shit I've seen on TV. So she wasn't wrong.
Yeah.
She wasn't being. She didn't.
I think probably they could argue like because they were there because she was cutting
The wires for the fire
yes.
alarm.
So I think they could and also not a lawyer, but I would assume that like, and this was part of the first day of the trial actually. This point was discussed of whether or not they could make an arrest, and I think you could argue they can make. I think that's what they argued is that they can make the arrest because she was detained for allegedly cutting the, and then she ran away or whatever. But yeah, they're they're taking the time to take apart the window to get in her apartment. And a lady first throws a candle holder at them, then comes at them with a hammer, and they all just start unloading on her. It's insane. It's no one, a regular person in this scenario would not think like, oh, this person needs to be killed right now.
And they were like, they knew they were responding to a mental health call, like a mental health crisis, and it's just like,
yeah, she was telling them, like when she was talking to them calmly before it escalated, she was telling them that the FBI is watching me. That's why I had to cut clearly
it's like,
suffering
it's
a delusion.
Like, yeah. And my issue is it's like 2025. Like I don't know if you've seen like the fucking rates of depression this year of like at the highest levels they've been. It's like 18% of adults have depression, which is like exacerbated by the fact that they don't have access to mental health services. And so all these people who have like don't have access to mental health services, especially if you're like poor, you don't have it. And there's like 36 million people living below the poverty line, and so there's this many people. We have a actual mental health crisis going on in the country with people with no outlets to get like actual help, and the only solution it seems to be is have cops come and shoot you, and kill you. That's the solution to solve the 18% of the depression and 18% of adults. So that's how you're dealing with the adults who have depression, or all these people who are poor and can't get access to mental health tools and stuff. You're just gonna shoot them.
Did someone say mental health crisis?
Yeah.
Clack.
Yeah,
It's literally. It is what the cops are trained to do, to shoot their way out of any situation, including a lady with schizophrenia. This San Antonio apparently does have a mental health unit, but they are not. It's not like what the controversial part of Zoran's campaign in New York is to have replaced the cops who show up to mental health calls with a mental health unit that consists of social workers, and if need be, a cop will come with them to ensure safety. But this is not even that. First of all, it's only 20 of them. Hilarious. They get like tens and thousands of mental health calls a year, and their mental health unit is 20 cops. But they're not mental health. They are cops. They're cops who got some added training, went through, like we were talking about last week, probably had some modules they did to get their training, so they could theoretically not shoot people with schizophrenia. But those were not one of those 20 cops were not the ones who showed up. Instead, it was their normal cops who, and this was the results we got out of that. Just it's ridiculous. Like it's almost more absurd to have like having no mental health unit is almost less absurd than having one that's made up of 20 cops and they're just cops. Like they're not. Yeah. They don't really have They might have some training. They don't have an education when it comes to this stuff. They don't have expertise.
All you did was give them therapy language to weaponize us against. They're like, actually, you're gaslighting me, which means I get to shoot you. So sorry. So that's the scary part.
But even more likely, it's probably some like online certification thing where you could skip through all the videos, and they were just trying to hurry up and print out their little
Space
cert.
Invader keyboard type
Yes.
module where they're
Yeah.
like, learn, I was just like, the hammer, the fact that they keep bringing up the hammer is just like, I cannot help it. Like, dude, it's like the hammer itself to me is just like such a symbol for police officers. It's like they keep going, be like, she had a hammer, she had a hammer. And it's like, dude, your entire brain is a hammer. You only know how to do. Person having a seizure, hammer. I'm gonna pull out my gun. Tamir Rice, little boy playing with toys in the park, hammer. I'm gonna pull out a gun. Lady having a mental health crisis in her house, hammer. I'm gonna pull out a gun. So it's like it's funny that they're just like the hammer. Bitch, that's your brain is hammer. That's what you think. You think hammer. So it's like, God forbid she had a hammer in her house.
Yeah.
Don't nail nothing in your house while the police are around. No,
Yeah. If I was in a situation where I was trying to assist a middle-aged lady who's going through a mental health crisis, and I was outside and she was inside, and she had a hammer and she was waving at me threateningly, you know what I would do? Nothing. I would just stand there safely on the other side of a wall.
Be like, shit, luckily there's a wall in between us.
Yeah.
Stop! And she just hits a painting.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
wow. Oh. I didn't see that coming.
Let me reholster my weapon.
Would you guys like pie? You're like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
You fucking ass wipes. Yeah, but you know,
it's like, let me cook you a steak. She's got a knife. It's like, God damn.
Yeah, but you know, in what you know what shocked me about this story? The cops being charged.
Yeah.
What didn't shock me were they were people of color. So I was like, duh. Well, we'll punish these cops.
Exactly.
We still get to punish minorities.
The white chief. Whatever happened to accountability?
You know what?
Whatever happened to that?
You know what we're gonna do this time? I'm smelling a little cop punishment. Yeah, we'll do it. Yeah. Now that we got
some of these cops need to learn their place. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll talk more about the trial as it unfolds. But yeah, insane story and obviously tragic story. So rest in peace to Melissa Perez. I know she had like a daughter in high school at the time. So just a tragedy. But we'll be moving now. We'll be going to Chicago. So backdrop here of all the actual war zone in Chicago that the conservatives always accused Chicago of being, but now they have manifested it into a reality with ICE going in there and going to war with apartment buildings. Well, unlike in LA where they were having their chaos and the cops and ICE were side by side, fucking hive mind, single being together, fucking LeBron and D Wade, like totally in sync. Chicago police and ICE have not been getting along as well. I'm not saying the police are like completely organized, standing up against the federal government. Not that, obviously, but definitely tensions have been going on, and there's cops getting tear gassed by ICE. They're probably not a big fans of that, and ICE and they're like trying to like they're sending mixed signals as far as like whether they're standing with the protesters, because in some cases they say they should have the right to protest, but other cases, you know, they'll go with their instinct and beat the shit out of protesters. That's what cops do. And there was the case of like in Broadview, another suburb of Chicago, where the ICE facility there was like sending like fake 911 calls to so real like little fraternity level beef going on, you could say. So that's the backdrop of this story. Reading from NBC7, ICE arrests Rajul Bojevic, police officer in Hanover Park, Illinois, accuses him of being in the U.S. illegally from Montenegro. U.S. ICE, ICE agents arrested a police officer Thursday morning in Hanover Park, accusing him of being an unlawful migrant from Montenegro. Hanover police are now saying that the department hired the officer in January in, quote, full compliance with federal and state law, adding, the village confirmed he was legally authorized by the federal government to work in the United States. That is contradicting what the department of Homeland Security said earlier Thursday. This is how you know that ICE hates the Chicago police. They're going after Montenegrin immigrants.
I know.
They're like, we're all sick of them.
Yeah.
Those damn lazy coming from over the border, our Montenegro, and hopping the fence over here, taking all our jobs, stealing all our women. You know the stereotypes.
It's like, how do they pronounce Montenegro with a hard R? This is crazy. And this dude who is like, if you Google, what's his name? Rajababa.
Yeah, I think he starred in one of the Rocky movies.
Right? Nigga look like fucking an Eastern European basketball player. What the fuck?
Yeah. I think he won MVP with the Denver Nuggets.
This nigga does not look. This is how I know ICE is evil. They coming after white ones too. This is which is also confusing because yes, he's like, I'm sure they saw Montenegro and like, oh yeah, we're.
Oh yeah.
This must be some
Monte who?
What is it? Some sort of Wakanda? I've never heard of this Montenegro. Mount Negro.
They're in the mountains.
We'll look into this after all this is over. You won't be a. But yeah, that shit. That's so funny. ICE is coming for cops, which is how you know all the ICE rhetoric, all the Republican conservative, just racist ass rhetoric that literally that it's about there being criminals. You're literally going after law enforcement officers. It's about them being not working and being lazy and weight on the economy. And it's like he's employed. So are they lazy or are they working? Are they
release this cop? You heard it from here. Cops the podcast first.
I didn't say all that. I'm just doing.
Ashton says lock him up.
I'm just doing.
Send him back to Mount Montenegro.
I'm doing late night comedy. I'm trying to expose hypocrisy. That's all. This is what the back cornerstone of late night is.
It is
the hypocrisy.
I thought it was karaoke while driving.
That is a good one. That's a foundational pillar.
What late night are you
watching?
watching?
It is a foundational pillar. That exposing hypocrisy and TRL elevator.
Yeah.
Is that Mariah? I'm Mariah Carey.
Yeah. They're not all beating you at the Emmys every year. Some of them are losing just like you every year.
All right. Listen, I think I'm with ICE. Yeah, you're right. These goddamn these fucking illegal immigrants coming to this country and taking good American jobs from good American racists.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right.
Where did you learn racism?
Right.
In the mountains?
Well, of course the Dems want to give these illegal guns. Of course that's what they want to do. That's because he's a cop. He gets a gun.
Yeah.
All right, never mind.
Bolshevik was set to be sworn in Thursday night as Hanover Park police officer at the village board meeting. At the meeting, ABC7 heard from those against the detainment of the police officer and those concerned over the hiring of the police officer based off of the claims made by U.S. Department of Homeland Security. The village board president asked the community to consider the facts before reaching a judgment. I would not want to be trying to talk to a group of community members who are concerned that a cop was from Montenegro. Like, those people do not seem like the most grounded members of the community. Bolshevik was seen in a Facebook post from the police department provided by DHS, which was taken in August after the officer graduated from the Suburban Law Enforcement Academy. DHS released a statement on the arrest Thursday afternoon, saying in part, quote, Governor J.B. Pritzker doesn't just allow violent illegal aliens to terrorize Illinois' communities. He allows illegal aliens to work as sworn police officers. Radul Bolshevik violated our nation's laws and was living, all caps, illegally in the United States for 10 years. And here we go. DHS Secretary Kristi Noem also commented on social media saying, quote, ICE arrested an illegal alien working as a sworn police officer in a Chicago suburb. Radical sanctuary politicians have allowed criminal illegal aliens to infiltrate our school district, communities, and even police departments.
Also, no one's let me use the bathroom since I got in here. I gotta take a shit.
Also, I have a yeast infection.
I've been holding this piss since I've been.
Montenegrins are fucking with my pussy right now.
Kicked out of every bathroom in a greater Chicago area. Please.
She's like, these Montenegrins, they're illegal aliens. They're like dogs. Even worse, they're like puppies. They're like
And
adorable puppies.
much like puppies, we must shoot them.
Shoot them in the face.
What do we do with puppies? We shoot them.
We kill them.
Obviously. Yeah.
So yeah, we at Cops the Podcast do stand with the Chicago police in all because they're when they're not framing black men for murder or urinating on free breakfast provided by the Black Panthers,
Building secret police departments.
building torture black sites
Yeah.
all over the city. They're flying in from the mountains of Montenegro, just trying to search for a better life and escape the horrors of the whatever shit that went down in Yugoslavia. I mean, it was bad. Oh, don't get me wrong, it was bad. It was bad what happened, and now they're cops, and we love them for that. So we stand with them. However, the Hanover Park Police Department released a statement Thursday afternoon saying Bojevic presented the village with a valid work authorization card, which was issued by U.S. Citizen and Immigration Services, a card that was recently renewed. During Thursday night's meeting where Bojevic was set to be sworn in, Village Board President Rodney Craig cautioned the community to consider the facts. And he also said that the village confirmed Bojevic was legally authorized by both the state and federal government to work in the U.S. Quote, background checks performed by the FBI, Illinois State Police, revealed no criminal history, Craig said. If Officer Bojevic did not hold federal work authorization, he would not have been hired. The Hanover Police Department also said in a statement that they did not receive any notice from the state or feds that his work authorization had been revoked. The village says they confirmed Bojevic's immigration status and allowed him to carry a firearm on duty.
Yeah, and that's how you know it's like that's how you like know it's just he's here legally. He's allowed to like be here, but they don't give a fuck. They just don't like. At what point is this not a rogue agency just doing whatever the fuck?
Of course,
like they're just like, no, he's literally allowed to be here. Like I was watching like a Fox News white girl a video like just to see what Fox News was saying about it, and I kid you not, she was like, she said it. She one of them like skinny like blonde like racist ass girls, and she said it. She said this, and it's so funny to me. This is why I had to write it down because it was so funny the way she said it. She was like, apparently he had a work authorization card issued by the government. It was valid and renewed recently, and he also passed a background check. How does that happen?
Yeah.
I was like, she just
described immigration.
She just went through like 9. He was like, apparently he like. I was like, yeah, he's here legally.
Apparently, he worked really hard to come seek a better life and has a unique interpretation of what the American dream really is.
It's the Europeans and your technology, dog. Y'all came here, you fucking you threw away all immigration rules when you came here. Now, fucking 400 years later, all of a sudden, it's you niggas is like, nah, not even other Europeans can come to this mother. Like it's the technology.
Yeah. I just love Chicago police being like, y'all, don't you think this ICE stuff is starting to go a little too far? I mean, we should really check state power and their monopoly on violence. You ever thought about this? You ever thought about how state-sanctioned violence is really the true perpetrators of violence in this country? I don't know. It's just something I've been thinking about lately.
See, look, now you're learning the late night method. Expose that hypocrisy, brother. You do that.
Yeah.
No, but I do think it's a little funny that part of me is like, ICE been there for in Chicago for about a month now, or however long they've been there. That's how scary them YNs are. They're like, we're going to start looking into cops. We, you know what? What are y'all doing over there?
Yeah.
Like, we're going to take a break off O Block right now and just...
let's go arrest that white guy. Yeah.
Whatever. I mean, yeah, it's out. That's just a little funny. Little funny observation.
Yeah.
Ain't known as, but, fuck ICE.
Yeah. That's what we do here on our late night comedy show.
We
funny observations.
Funny, humorous limericks. Is that what we do? Is a limerick what we do?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure these are limericks.
Okay. Some limerick sounds like
It's not a limerick.
Okay.
A limerick is like,
like,
I went to this da 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 da.
Okay,
Da da
that's
da
it.
da 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 da.
Next episode,
R.I.P.
we will be doing a limerick episode only. You know how some people have musicals?
Yeah. You know how some people
Should
have
we do
musicals?
musical
Yes.
Cops the podcast?
Yeah, we'll get Kelly and Dylan to come on and
There was a shooting. 3 cops.
the immunity was qualified.
See Sam.
We gotta move on.
Sorry, have a
We,
little fun. We can't have a little too much fun on this
we
podcast.
cannot have too much fun on this
Sorry.
podcast. Unfortunately,
Apologize for doing that.
we're going to H-Town though.
Hey, I hate every single time my hometown is brought up on this fucking podcast. It is never a good thing.
It's not. Duh.
I just would get excited, the first thing is
Yes.
excitement.
There's something in our Houston brains
Versus,
that
like,
makes us excited about Houston.
And then I always
A little
forget
too much.
Our podcast is inherently bad, so it should not. If you are on this podcast, it's not good.
It's not.
But going to one of the greatest cities on earth, Houston, via ABC 13. Harris County, the infamous Harris County. Harris County family says they asked off-duty deputy to call 911 for 5-year-old girl having a seizure in Walmart. And get this, he said no. They called an off-duty cop to come help at a Walmart while this girl was having a seizure, and he told them, "Nah, I'm good. Shit, girl, I can't work both. See how I can't moonlight. I'm currently on the clock here, and I can't actually help you because that's working."
It's the type of headline where you read it and you're like, all right, that can't actually be the story.
And
They're clearly making a clickbait headline. Let me be a good consumer of media literate citizen in America, and read the details of this article. Oh shit, that is just what happened.
That is
Holy
a little
shit.
girl having a seizure. That is him screaming and being like, I'll work for you. I work for Walmart. And it's just like, oof, this is not good.
Well, yeah, let's read it. Let's go through the article.
East Harris County family says a uniformed deputy refused to help and mocked them as their 5-year-old had a seizure. He took an oath to protect and serve, and this Sunday he did not do his job. Evelyn Argueta said her 5-year-old granddaughter Marissa had a seizure as the family shopped at the Walmart off an I-10 Freeport Street Sunday afternoon. Her head kind of just flipped back in the basket and her eyes rolled back, she explained. Argueta said her granddaughter had never previously experienced a seizure. That's why we're so scared, she explained. She said the family held the urine-soaked little girl's head to prevent injury and turn her on her side so she would not choke on her vomit. Argueta said her daughter, Marissa's mother, called 911 but struggled to guide dispatchers to the store. She said dispatchers requested an exact address for her daughter, who was flustered and crying while attempting to tend to Marissa. Argueta said the family sought out a man in a Harris County Sheriff's Office deputy uniform working an off-duty security job at the store. She said they asked him for help after explaining the situation and requested that he call 911. The officer then told my son, "No, that's what you have your own phone for. Use your phone. What do you think? I can just pick up this walkie-talkie and get some help for you here?"
Crazy.
What the fuck is the walkie-talkie? This goes directly to a McDonald's. What the fuck is this walkie-talkie for? I'm like, what is it?
Yeah, I mean, it's a Walmart walkie-talkie, but it's like, talk about just being like obtuse. Like, yeah, you're a fucking cop, dude. Like, you can get a cop here.
That's how
you can get a cop
it
here,
exposes.
bro. Like,
that's what I was saying. Like fucking earlier, it's just like these cops aren't here for no noble cause. They're not. We live in like Mad Max capitalism world. The people who go and be cops and security officers they're not doing it for like nobility. They're doing it because they're paid armed.
They always talk about, when I put on this badge, when I put on this uniform and this badge, I take on a certain responsibility and I put myself in a certain danger. But then like some shit happens and people are like, oh look, a man in a badge and a uniform, and he's like, no,
I need money. I need
No.
money.
No.
I'm sorry. I'm too busy investigating whether this lady is stuffing ground beef in her pants or if that's just her natural fupa.
Exactly.
I gotta check this out.
Yeah.
Sorry, but
Yeah. I mean, literally, that was probably his mentality. Like, I'm not here to save a girl's life.
Yeah,
I'm here to stalk black mothers while they shop.
Yeah.
That's why I'm here.
capitalist. I mean, we live in a you privatize like everything in the fabric of our like reality is like capitalism. So everything is like benefits from being privatized, including public safety. So why the fuck he's like, dude, I'm doing security for Walmart. This is not secure. My incentive is Walmart. I'm not actually. That's what I mean. You don't, because money is the incentive. You're not getting noble people. You're getting people who are fucking mad, who hired mercs, like legit.
Yeah, I mean, what's happened to this cop's brain to where like he was the only person in that store that they could have approached and would have said no. You know what I mean? And literally every single other person would have done something to whatever they were asked to do to help a 5-year-old girl with her eyes rolled back in her head.
Cannot imagine. Like, it's like seeing a house on fire and be like, well, not my problem. Like, or not calling to help or just like any type of. I guess we're always blown away by like what we expect.
It is mind blowing. Yeah,
natural human reaction to just because it's just like it's not even about like the ethics and the morals. It's just like just a natural. Oh, that's weird. A natural person would have done this because that's what the patterns a good human displays, but they don't show none of those patterns, and so we're always like, what?
Yeah,
I don't understand. Well, you will when you just accept the fact that we're evil, and once that
the weekly
you,
doing this podcast every week. It has been changed as formative for us. Like we were already, it's not like we have a new perspective on cops now. Like me and Ashton did this podcast because we feel very confident in our views about the police. They align together. We could do, but it's like just reading these stories every week. It's done something to my brain of just like good God.
Cops and seizures just do not go hand. There's never a good seizure and cop story. You never cop saves man having seizure. No, it's always like. Cop sets man on fire while he was having seizure. Cop fucking accidentally drives man on seizure off bridge. You're like, what was a cop? He got scared, so he didn't know what to do, so he stuffed him in the trunk. Drew him off the bridge.
There was a story last week that it only made the headline roundup. We didn't talk about it in more depth, but it was like, and I didn't look too into it either, so I'm gonna try to not get any detail wrong. But it was like a black man had just like gotten brain surgery, and whatever had happened with him and the cops, he started having a seizure. And in the middle of the seizure, while he's lying on the ground, one of the cops grabbed his crotch and made like a joke, like this one's for free. Like
what?
Yes. While he was having a seizure, he essentially sexually assaulted a man while he was having a seizure, and then the other cops just laughed. And, you know, that there's a big lawsuit there for obvious reasons. But you're right. It is a truly insane pattern with people having seizures. It's so specific and so backwards and so, like, it's like puzzling almost.
It distorts their
Is there some sort of inside joke going on? Like,
how do they just, like, I don't know. I do not. I have no answers for it.
Cops are trained. I mean, you know, cops are trained to blast. Cops are trained that the people are your enemy. They are all dangers. They're threats to you specifically. And we're going to spend all your training on this. If you want to be a mental health officer, you'll have an additional module. That's it. But otherwise, you're trained to be afraid and to blast. So when they see someone going through a medical emergency, like their Rolodex of their training just flips all the way through and then just flips back to the front with nothing to look at except, all right, I'm just put my hand on my gun and hope for the best.
Looks like his body's shooting him for me, I guess. I don't know. Like, what is going on with this seizure? Like, I have no idea what their logic is, but I do think that if you're wearing your uniform, this just goes across all just spectrums of work. If you have your uniform on, even if you're off duty, this is what they tell you at work. You still represent. You still are a symbol for that company. When I worked at Raising Cane's and I had my Raising Cane's outfit on outside of Raising Cane's, guess what? I'm still a Raising Cane's employee. I couldn't get nobody chicken. But
yeah, dude, this is such a great point. Like, it's true. I remember I worked at HEB, but back down to Houston, Texas. grocery store in Texas. I have this distinct memory where I was having this like terrible day and I was off the clock, and this old lady came up to me and she's like, "Son, where is that?" And I was like, "Oh, it's right over here, ma'am. You know what, ma'am? I'll walk you to it."
Chick-fil-A employees, they off the clock, and they look at you and they still hit you with the "my pleasure." You're like, damn, you ain't have to do that. You off the clock, but they know they still represent that chicken.
I'm always like, the pleasure's all mine.
Right. Like,
I say that every time.
I'm like, please stop doing that.
Can we stop talking about pleasure?
Why is it so?
Why are we talking about pleasure so much?
I feel
this is supposed to be a Christian restaurant.
It's just so sexually charged with a little bit of slavery still. Why are you forcing?
Yeah. Well, I think you're bringing KFC in there as well. KFC has the slavery thing going, and then Chick-fil-A has the Christo national thing, and I think Raising Cane's is the best. Just like a nice, cute dog.
Yeah. I mean, I got
shout out Cane's.
I got nothing but scars on my body from Raising Cane's, but sure, shout out them.
Shout out Cane's.
Permanent grease scars have wrecked my body.
Yeah.
Just from. But yeah, shout out.
But last thing I'll say, because I think you are touching on it. It's just like, what is that mentality? It has to be such a rotten mentality to be like, to take that little nugget of a feeling, that sort of like, it's like when you're someone finds out you're a comedian, and they're like, "Oh, tell me a joke," and you kind of roll your eyes at that.
Yeah.
But that's the feeling he has. But he has applied it to a girl is having a seizure in front of him, and people are rushing in to help, and they're saying, "Oh, it's a guy with a cop." Cut here. He's like, "Hey, I don't go when you're off the clock," and da.
Extrapolate that to any other just profession for real. Just be like, "Is there a doctor in the house? Bitch, I work for Mount Sinai. I don't work for you." And the person just dies. Literally, actually same scenario, kind of in a sense.
It is.
It's like,
it is
literally insane. That's
it
what.
is.
And then like we're talking about this, just like regular human stuff, right? This is for any human. Like you would react like you should help them. This is a 5-year-old little girl. This is a 5-year-old little girl. Seizure. Like
again,
full-on 5-year-old.
Where is your human brain to where you don't see that? You see that and you just like roll your eyes like, "Oh my God.
Sorry.
Oh my God. I'm about to stay late today again."
Someone's stealing Blu-rays of King of Queens. I got other shit on my mind right now. It's like, it's well.
The girl's okay.
She's okay.
Yeah.
She survived. She's good.
She's
It's just this guy.
Despite this cop's best efforts to kill her. Good God.
We'll meet again, little girl.
Yeah. That was strike one.
Okay.
I got my eyes on you. So our last story, we'll be talking about Flock again.
Flock.
Yeah.
I can't help not do that.
If you weren't listening last week, or if you haven't been, all of our loyal Patreon subscribers, they're fluent when it comes to Flock. Flock is the company that makes the LPR cameras, the license plate reader cameras that you will see everywhere. Once you start looking for them, you'll see them fucking everywhere. You see these cameras on all the, not the stoplight camera that's right over the truck, but it's like the one like on the pole. You'll start seeing them everywhere, and they're originally there to find stolen vehicles and missing persons. Well, guess what? Now they're fucking everywhere, and cops can commandeer them and just do whatever the fuck they want with them. We've seen ICE commandeer them. That's an illegal gray area, whether or not they can commandeer police equipment like that. And last week, we were talking about the Texas cops who commandeered 83,000 Flock cameras around the country outside their jurisdiction to track down a woman for getting an abortion because her abusive boyfriend invited the cops over, showed them her the packaging she got from her self-administered abortion pill because she had a what's the term? A non-viable fetus that was not going to be born, was only going to potentially harm her. And they were like, "All right, all hands on deck." And Flock has come under a lot of criticism lately for all this shit, and they completely they're like middle fingers back up. Fuck all our haters. This is what we do. So now we will be talking about their newest venture they want to do is not just video surveillance, but audio surveillance. So reading again from Electronic Frontier Foundations, they do great work on all this type of stuff. Flock's gunshot detection microphones will start listening for human voices. Flock Safety, the police technology company most notable for their extensive network of automated license plate readers spread throughout the United States, is rolling out a new and troubling product that may create headaches for the cities that adopt it. Detection of, quote, human distress via audio. As part of their suite of technologies, Flock has been pushing Raven, their version of acoustic gunshot detection. These devices capture sounds in public places and use machine learning to identify gunshots and then alert police. But EFF has long warned that they are also high-powered microphones parked above densely populated city streets. Cities now have one more reason to follow the lead of many other municipalities and cancel their Flock contracts. Before this new feature causes civil liberties harms to residents and headaches for cities. So what this tech they want to do is they're trying to copy a company called ShotSpotter. So ShotSpotter is the one who pioneered this technology. And basically, it's like they set up microphones all over a neighborhood of a city, and they theoretically can detect when gunshots go off. But in reality, 80%, whatever the number is, I forgot exactly. The vast majority of the time, the cops get called to a location because the gunshots went off. Gunshots did not go off. And guess what? Where are the neighborhoods they're putting this shit in? Black neighborhoods, brown neighborhoods, poor neighborhoods. They're just thinking like, you know what's the problem with these over-policed neighborhoods? They're under-policed. Why don't we get the cops in here more? And why don't we get them? You know how cops are in the most safe and trusting mentality when they think danger's about to happen, when they think people are shooting. Let's make sure let's go ahead and make them think shots have already been fired before they come into the neighborhood. Let's go ahead and do that. This is how we're marketing our technology to you.
For fear and violence before they
exactly.
Go into black. Yeah. Shake them up, and if we could actually just like grab every cop and shake them violently before we could say, spin them on like a Ferris wheel, make them a little dizzy, and then give them a gun.
Yes. Show them a deep fake of their wife having sex with a migrant. Then go ahead and bring her to our neighborhood.
Like the gauntlet they go through before they get to like a car wash.
Just get slapped in the face. Like an Inspector Gadget creation, just going through, getting jumped.
Getting slapped in it, like we go to a car wash and they have the wax thing that like hits your car, but instead it's just a bunch of pictures. Your wife fucking another guy.
Yeah.
Here's her with a gang. Here's her with an immigrant. Here's her with the pastor. You're like, what?
The little automated like treadmill thing takes him to the next section. There's a bunch of black teenagers pointing at his shoes. What are those? Well, that's essentially ShotSpotter. And so now Flock's like, we gotta get in on this. But what they're adding to ShotSpotter's proven terrible technology is that now they're saying it can detect human screams. My God, this is so terrifying and stupid.
No, your officer, you got it wrong. I was beating it up.
Well, I mean, literally, like that's a funny joke. It's a great joke, but that's literally the problem. And like people scream, people quote unquote scream for all sorts of reasons. People are playing a game of like basketball, football. People are having fun. Someone said something funny.
You see a magic trick in a black neighborhood. You show black people a magic trick. And you're like, ah!
I love how it's beautiful how much you were affected by this magic show last weekend. It's going out in your riffs and stuff. But yes, in marketing. Okay, back to the article.
You have no idea how bad I wanted to get up there in some of those trips. I was like, all right.
It's true then? I wanted to ask you, but I didn't want to be disrespectful. No, so you're saying it's true. It's true?
I was like, if we weren't seated, I would be back there. I would be levitating.
You're like, sir, can I get a seatbelt? I'm going to need...
Can I get an aisle seat?
I'm gonna need the roller coaster bar on the thing. I need to be secure.
I'm being all polite and it's like nice, but everybody's wearing blazers. I'm like, excuse me, if you're sorry, if I can just get.
Yeah. And meanwhile, Flock's new technology is in there now.
And
SWAT team raid.
They shot the magician. And
No!
then
And then at the end, he gets back up. Ta-da! Oh my God! Ashton has left the building. He's running all the way home. He's not stopped till he's back in bed.
And that was a show.
Yeah.
Bravo!
Bravo. The cops are all, they're bowing and throwing roses. Meanwhile, the guys, that's real blood. He David Blaine did. He did get shot. We did. It's not an illusion. We did shoot him 5 times, and we are real cops. We did try to kill him, but he's such a good David Blaine style magician that he took the bullets, and he's standing in front of us today.
That's so fucking.
Wow, what a show.
What a riff.
What a show.
What a riff.
Yeah, my God.
All right.
Oh, I gotta go back to this fucking article. All right.
Yeah, this was about fucked up shit.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's pretty much it. Look, yeah, it's pretty much that.
Flock.
They're adding.
They're
They're adding.
listening.
They're. We're supposed to trust them.
Dude,
They couldn't get gunshots correctly, and gunshots, pretty specific sound, right? The only thing you could confuse it for is fireworks or a car backfiring. And guess what? It confuses it with those two things constantly. So like the only two obstacles to this technology, to the basic of this technology, it consistently falls for. And so then they're like, all right, I think we've mastered this. Let's add something way more nuanced and way more complex, the human voice. And we will trust this now to detect not only a human scream, but a human scream that's of distress.
I'm just imagining the military application for all this because it's going to be like weaponized, like the future when all these technologies they're going to go into one place.
Yeah,
I know it's like I have these like sci-fi fucking.
No, but you're right. I mean, that's what we're seeing right now. We're seeing all these separate little pieces of invasive technology, that were all originally separate in their own little thing.
And they're wrong.
They all got it more advanced, and then the federal government can just come in and be like, oh, we're going to take that, we're going to take that, we're going to take that. Thank you, Amazon Ring Light. Thank you, Meta. Thank you, da-da-da. Thank you, da-da-da. Thank you, this, you know?
And they all will get synthesized into one system that will, just by nature of being just in the reality we live, be violent and militarized and used weaponized against like a public. But I obviously don't have I do have the imagination to. I don't know what that.
If there's one thing we can bring to this podcast, it's imagination. That's pretty much all we have.
We got spare. We got that's
no law degrees, no journalism degrees.
Just pure abstract thought.
Yes.
Creative abstract. But I do get. I'm like, whether it be fucking RoboCop, whether it be, I do think like, okay, what if a cop, those DARPA dogs.
Yeah.
Have all access to all of this technology, weaponized. And, the DARPA dog. I'm just saying, those fearful things, those fearful conspiracy theory things that people are like, well, what's all this? I think it's right. It's okay for people to be like, what is this leading to? I see them separately. I do think people should be like, well, what happens when they all unify?
Yeah.
And you have actually one AI, which is also, you do finally reach that. What's it called when they're the actual real AI? The
singularity.
Not super singularity, but just the not sentience, but it's like the one the model of AI that they're trying to reach. Like it's like GP or
I don't know.
Anyway, there's a version of AI that's like general intelligence. I can't think of it, but once the actual AI that we all like dream of is capable of existing, and it's merged with these systems. That's what scares me. Like they are.
Well, I like, you mentioned the DARPA dog. You mentioned all these things that like we're seeing it in its infancy, right? And it's scary, but then your natural instinct is to be like, okay, well, I'm letting my imagination run wild. But it's like, let's look at the technologies that were in their infancy like 10 years ago, 15, 20 years ago, when Meta and Google or Facebook and Google started using like data harvesting to advertisers. People were like, this could maybe go someplace bad. And at that time people probably were like, well, you're crazy right now to think all that. But now here we are, and the CIA is literally buying that data from data brokerage companies to form models of all of us, models of behavior and tracking of all of us. So they were correct to be afraid of that, and people were afraid of that. People were saying shit, but they were ignored. Like, we didn't listen to them. Like, not when I say we, I don't mean us listening. I just mean like the powers that be. And so, yeah, I literally cannot imagine the ways AI is going to be used nefariously in like 20 years from now.
Yeah, I think I have a clue, but sometimes I'm like, I don't think that's 20 years from now. 20 years from now, the shit that I fear, I'm like, that's probably like 7 years away.
Yeah, dude.
And
you've seen the Martin Luther King,
dude, the Soros shit is like, dude, like, that's why I have so much, like, I could not, even the smallest bit of AI. I need to figure out what was going on my YouTube metrics. I was like, all right, I'm gonna see if ChatGPT. This feels like an ethical use of AI. I'm just gonna take a picture of my YouTube metrics and then send it to ChatGPT so I can have a better understanding of what I'm looking at. And that felt ethical, but then even then I'm like, fuck. This used water on some. I don't know how to.
You just drowned a dolphin.
That's what?
I just realized how stupid that was. You drown. Okay, a dolphin. Wait, hold on. Dolphins are mammals, bitch. Dolphins breathe oxygen. Dolphins can drown. Okay? Wow.
Oh,
turns out wasn't such a dumbass thing to say after all, huh? You drowned a dolphin.
No, it might be time to end the pod.
Yeah, we should have ended on that last riff.
Yeah, because
I was like, do we got anything else? I mean, let's just keep going until I say something so stupid that it's not recoverable. I can't come back from it.
What's crazy is I finally know what it's like. I feel like I know what it's like on the other end now. Like,
we switch spots.
Fuck did you just say?
It is.
You make a dolphin drown.
Yeah.
But you know what, gang? That's the pod.
That's the pod. Thanks for listening. Join us on our Patreon, please.
We got some stories for your ass. See you.